So before I forget, I just want to announce one more time the yoga and aging webinar on Sunday, January 23rd at 1 o'clock. If you go to yogaandaging.com, you can register. The panel's free and it's 1 o'clock to about 2. It might go a little bit longer than an hour, but it's scheduled just to be an hour. And then you can also see on that website all the lists of, well, there's 4 upcoming workshops after that in February, March. Mine is in April and David's is in May. So if you want to register for any one of those workshops, that would be great. We'd love to have you join. So, hi Lubna. So welcome everyone. So see if you can find a comfortable seat. You can even sit on a chair. The main thing is that you're not struggling to sit upright. That's the main thing. There's no struggle, no suffering, no pain, no discomfort. But if there is, then choose perhaps another vehicle, another way of sitting that might bring more ease. If you feel that you're slumping back, taking the arms out to the side is always helpful, or pronating the palms very firmly into the roots of the thighs and ascending the side ribs. And then you can hook your thumbs underneath the armpits to alert the armpit chest, which is always helpful, you know, especially when it's cold and, you know, you want to just give yourself a hug. And oftentimes, as I'm wearing a very heavy sweater, it weighs you down. So you could get the lift from the base to the armpit chest, pronate the palms, and then just allow the eyes to close. Relax the inner corners of the eyes and sense that the skin is spreading to the outer temples. And then just see if you can balance energy, that quality of upliftedness with relaxation, and relaxation with energy. So you're really coming to balance the two. There's enough energy to be upright, but there's enough relaxation so that you're not tense. And that is not easy to achieve. That evenness of the body and the mind. It might take several moments. It might take the whole time and still not arrive there. See if you can just balance the quality of relaxation with energy and energy with relaxation. And then just notice, which is interesting, we often don't do this, notice that awareness is already taking place. Awareness of your body, awareness of sounds, awareness of feelings, mind states. Already aware of the body, of the sensations, of the breath, of sounds. Begin by recognizing what's already obvious to awareness. And then see if you can release tension in your body, noticing perhaps where it is, in the jaws, in the mouth, in the fingers, in the hands, in the shoulders, in the upper back, in the abdomen. Knowing sensation, knowing sound, and recognizing how unnecessary struggle is. And then finally, on a more subtle level, recognizing that life is being lived moment to moment. Awareness is already there. And when you're ready, you can repeat your own personal vow or mind. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. and may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all beings are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. And then when you're ready, gently and lift your gaze, allow your eyes to open and stretch out your legs. So just because I've noticed this in the recordings, as people come in late, if you could unmute, mute yourselves so that there's no echoes and sounds. All right, so now let's begin, everyone, in Supta Virasana for the groins, or Supta Baddha Konasana, or Supta Swastikasana. Just our first, and have chest support because it's so cold out here. If you're in Supta Virasana, chest support. If you're in Baddha Konasana, and even Supta Swastikasana, cross-legged, use chest support to open the chest. So again, if you could all, I'm going to go back and unmute everyone because last week I recognized that there was a lot of sound coming across. Okay, so welcome to you all. Let's start in that supine chest opening posture as it's quite cold. So I'm giving you a choice depending on one's knees. You can always do straight legs, soles of the feet together. So I had a few lesson plans in mind. I'm not quite sure as I take a look around the room what we're going to do today. It is cold and I wanted to work a little bit with Warrior 2, Warrior 1, and Warrior 3, but because those poses also can be very energizing, I want to balance that. So we'll see how this goes. Sometimes it's nice to come to class without a plan. See that your chest is lifted. Make sure that you take head support so the chin is not lifting up. Relax. Yeah, Nancy, take height underneath the back. Probably that looks really good. And also it's wise to put your hands on the right below the earlobe and elongate your cervical spine. So do this forward from the chest. Those of you whose legs are in Virasana, keep turning your inner knees to the outer knees. Spread the feet, which is really important. So I want to make another announcement as people have come in about the yoga and aging panel to pre-register. We have 600 people already registered for January 23rd at 1 o'clock. So go to yogaandaging.com. You can sign up for the free panel. And if any workshops tickle your fancy, the workshops as well. When you're ready, you can extend the arms overhead, keep the arms straight. See if you use your arms to charge the chest. Take a deep inhalation and fill the chest with the life force. And then exhale deeply and against the resistance of the abdomen moving back. Take another inhalation, really opening the chest on this, probably not so much in Jordan, Juan, and Luna, but on this very cold day. And then you can hold your wrists or your elbows or your upper arms, but keep the outer armpits elongated. So we're doing, those of you who are in Supta Virasana will be a little bit more at an advantage because we're doing its prone counterpart after prone Bekasana, Ekapada Bekasana. So you'll be a little bit at an advantage. Holly, I think for you, you might consider using the chair and just putting your kneecap on the chair as we've done before. It bothers your knees. Extend the arms and then swap the cross. And again, use the arms reaching overhead to open the chest. Take a deep inhalation with the eyes and throat relaxed. And then exhale, and then another deep inhalation against the resistance of the abdomen. And then settle in by taking the arms down by the side, having charged the chest. Just feel the life force, the chest, having a sense that the chest has been irrigated now by the breath itself. So you might experience a sense of lightness now versus a sense of heaviness. Just see that the backs of the hands are pressing down into the floor and the upper arm skin turns from the inside up. If you need to come up, that's fine. Come up and stretch out your legs. You can go back into Supta Baddha Konasana or Supta Swastikasana. Okay, now let's do this. Take your hand, those of you in Virasana, take the hands into the arches of the feet, lead with your chest, come up. Those of you in any other pose, just simply bring the feet to the floor and then roll to your side. So let's just do this to get another supine pose. And we've done this before, but we haven't done it in some time. Take a blanket. I'm opening it out from the Sarvangasana fold to the longer side, and then I'm going to roll it up. And this will be like a spine. And then what you're going to do, and this is another nice way to open the chest, because initially you have to balance yourself on the thin roll. So I'm rolling it, and then I'll flip it in this manner, and then I'll show you from here. So your buttocks will go on this back side, literally, of it. Start with the knees bent. So you can see the white blanket underneath my buttocks, starting with the knees bent. And then see how this roll that corresponds against your entire spine opens the chest. And then do decentralize the arms, the hands in line with the shoulders. Have the feet at least hip width apart, if not wider. Okay?
Is your head on it or off of it?
My head is, but it depends on how tall you are.
Oh, okay.
And also how big the blanket is. Yeah. So the buttocks are on. So the main thing, Janet, is you want it to encompass the spine, because it's like you're bringing awareness to your spine, to your chest. Decentralize the arms. If you need additional head support, take it. We haven't done this in a while. I love this one. Spine-eyes Shavasana. That's good, Gail. So now we're doing it with the legs straight, buttocks on the blanket. Yeah, have the feet hip width apart. Good one. And relax the throat. And see that opening in the chest. So experience how this geometry encourages the unfolding of the chest from the center outwards. And so if you put your hands on your sternum and you're parting the sternum, you can feel how the chest now is wide, width, because you're bringing attention to the median line of your body. You feel the bony spine and the unfoldedness of the chest from the center outwards. Good. Relax the throat. So initially it fosters a little bit of balancing. You feel a little tippy, but then that subsides. And then when you're ready, if you want, you take the arms overhead, but keep the trapezius moving down to the waist. Reach through the fingertips. And again, take a deep inhalation. Feel the side walls of the chest expand, and then a deep exhalation, and then another deep inhalation against the resistance of the abdomen moving back. And you can do a few rounds of breath in that manner, just to open up the chest. Yes, the feet are flexed. So you're opening up the back of the heel, opening up the soles of the feet, feeling the arches of your feet as though you were standing. Take the arms down by the side and just relax, but feel the expansiveness of the chest. Again, sense the breath, like you were watering with a hose a field of flowers. And when you're ready, you can bend the knees, roll to your side, and then go prone on your belly, as we'll do Ekapada Bekasana. So I think you all know this. Holly, I think for you, it's better to put the, you can put your knee on the seat of the chair. So this pose where I'm pressing, I'm bending my left leg, you can bend your right, using the right forearm to lift the chest away from the floor, okay? Ekapada Bekasana. If your knees bother you in this pose, then it's better to do, Holly, just do it this way, with the kneecap on the seat of the chair, and you can hold the foot or not. Okay, so bending your right leg, and then watch how that leg wants to move out of the median line. So just the kneecap, Holly, yeah, you can. So back up a little bit away from the chair. Okay, now reach back and place the thumb on your big toe, and then quickly turn the hand and aim the heel, that right heel, to the floor. Good, Lubna. Just open up that groin. Those of you who are in Supta Virasana will have the same experience. Watch the right leg, don't let it go out to the side, and then change sides. Good. So now your right forearm is in front, you're bending your left leg, don't let it wander out. That's it. So remember, so it's not so much that each instruction is super important as much as to know why you're doing this, to open the groins. Again, those of you who just did Supta Virasana, it's this good time. See if you can, yeah. So try to get the thighs though parallel to each other. That's it. Okay. And now do a baby Bhujangasana. Place the hands by the armpit chest, which you just opened. Press the palms down. Turn the thighs from the inside out. I know you can't use your hands to do that, but you can imagine them doing that. And then pressing the feet, pressing the hands, keeping the arms slightly bent. Raise the chest in the same way it just lifted a moment ago in Ekapada Bekasana. So we're all doing baby Bhujangasana. Polly and Tom, you can do the baby Bhujangasana. Keep the arms bent. It's not so much a huge movement, but it does reflect on the upper spine moving in. Okay, and now when you're ready, push the floor away, go back to child's pose, and Polly and Tom, you can join us, and start in Dandasana. This will feel good after the knees have been in Bekasana. And then take Upavishta Konasana when you're ready. Just adjust from the feet in the same way you do when the legs are straight. Open up the heel hinge and use your hands on the roots of the thighs, pressing the palms down. Lift the trunk away from the floor, get taller and taller. See if you can experience once again, if it's helpful to put your hands on the side walls of the chest here to keep the chest, because now that you're seated, you were supine, you were prone, we're not standing doing the warrior poses. The energy is different, right? So see if you can keep that energy alive in your chest so that you don't get cold. Okay, now from here, take the legs into Dandasana. If you took the right leg in, take the right leg back to Dandasana, and now bring the right leg into Baddha Konasana, and then the sole of the left foot, soles of the feet together. If you need the wall and a blanket underneath your pelvis, take it. Press the feet strongly. That's it, Winnie, and widen the thighs away from each other. So Tom, you're up against the wall on a blanket. So I think it's helpful, especially if you're doing this freestanding. It's not to say it's terrible to bring your hands underneath the feet, but it often causes the chest to come forward. So better to just take the hands beside the hips And again, use this to ignite the chest. See if you can find the median line of the spine that you did in that spine-eye Shavasana. Press the feet strongly and widen the thighs away. Increasing the distance between the sides of the pubic bone and your inner thighs, which is necessary if we go toward Vamadevasana. Okay, now when you're ready, go back to Dandasana. Take the left leg out, right leg out. And again, now go a little bit wider than the first one. And if you need to, lift the pelvis up, come forward from your abdomen, and see if you can widen the pubic plane. Again, adjusting from the feet, opening the back heels, spreading the toes. See that the four corners of the knee point straight up. And then again, hands beside the hips, lift up. And now back to Dandasana. Take Baddha Konasana, taking the left leg in first, and then the right. So typically, if we are taking one leg out, it's an asymmetrical pose in terms of entry and exit. We have to do it twice, right side, or left side, right side. And then widen the thighs away. Aim to get the knees on the floor. And again, hands beside the hips. And lift your side walls of the chest away from the floor. Okay, now stretch out your legs back to Dandasana. We're doing Ardha Siddhasana. So Ardha Siddhasana, I'm taking the legs a little bit wider apart and I'm turning my foot so that the top of my foot and my shin is on the floor. And you can see my heel is right up against my pubic plate. So it's not Baddha Konasana, it's Siddhasana. And we're going to do Ardha Siddhasana side to side. Okay, and then we'll do the final pose. So when you're ready, take the legs a little bit wider than Dandasana. Hold it, lean into the right side, hold the foot. So you have to turn the foot. You have to turn the foot, you have to turn the calf flesh. So the calf flesh spins, good Mary Beth, to the floor. So use the hands just in the way that I'm showing so that the knee is on the floor, the knee stays down. Decentralize your left leg, Ardha Siddhasana, and then extend the leg out. So you can see this is really good motion for the hips. It's very, obviously it's the path to Padmasana. So lean to the left, keep the left knee on the floor, turn the foot. You're holding the foot with the right hand. Turn the foot, turn the foot, turn the calf flesh so that the shin is pointing down to the floor, aiming to get the heel right up against the perineum. And then again, lift the side walls of the chest. Okay, now we'll come into the full pose, either heel in front of heel or heel on top of heel. Stretch out your legs. Again, lean to the right, turn the foot, turn the calf flesh. I'm not in a hurry, keeping the knee completely on the floor. And then let's just assume I can't get the heel on top, which some of you might not be able to do, that I'm simply placing the left foot in front of the right and I'm coming into Siddhasana. Or if there's enough mobility in the inner knee and in the hip, then aim to get the left foot between the calf and the thigh. And then sitting in Siddhasana with the thumb and index finger joined, palms facing up, and Yana, the seal of knowledge, mudra. Good. And now change sides. Stretch out your left leg, which is on top, then the right, and then lean to the left. Ardha Siddhasana, turning the foot, turning the calf flesh. And then aim to get heel on top of heel, but don't worry if that's not possible, then heel in front of heel. If that's still not possible, Polly, then just cross-legged. All right, and then again, thumb and index finger join, turning the backs of the hands toward at the outer knee, and turn the skin of the biceps and deltoid. And now stretch out your legs. And then everyone sit on a bolster or two blocks, perhaps horizontally placed. We're doing Ekapada Mula Bandhasana. So we've done this a lot during this COVID period. So I'm sitting on a bolster. You could put 2 blocks side to side. Polly, remember, and Tom, we've done it with the chair, right? And then I'm aiming to get, now the foot is perpendicular, and I put my left thumb right up against my inner right heel so that the foot is indeed perpendicular. So ekapada means one-legged, that's the right leg, and then I'll do the left leg. So I know some of you can do the full pose, but do ekapada first. All right, right side, left side, then repeat. Good, Janet. So aim to get, so your foot is standing up, right? And the ankle should be not torqued. All right. So Tom, yeah, you can do it in this way. So those of you sitting in a chair, you're doing it this way. So you can show from, I'm showing from the profile. It's easier on the knee. See if you can be you're on the ball joint of the toes, leaning toward the big toe side, not the baby toe side. That's good, Polly. And then those of you who've done ekapada, right side, left side, and then repeated, do the full pose. Lubna, yeah, full pose now when you're ready. So that's it. Full pose, where both of the feet are together, or just do ekapada, which is lovely. That's good. And then yes, use your hands to move the heels toward the screen. Tom, you can change sides now. All right, these look good. It's good for the feet and the ankles and the arches of the feet. This is particularly good for those of you who have flat feet. Okay, now stretch, good, Janet. Now stretch out your legs. Okay, this is really improved. Stretch out your legs in Dandasana. All right, now we're going to just do rather quickly, Tom, I know you already did this, at the wall. You're gonna bring your legs against the wall and we're gonna come in and out of half lotus position, okay? I don't think anyone, I think we'll do it flat. I don't think anyone needs to put the pelvis on the bolster. So this one, where I'm sitting sideways to the wall, and I get very close to the wall. I'm actually up against the wall. I just simply swing my legs to the wall. And this should come rather easy because we prepared the outer hip. And then again, holding the foot from underneath and aiming the right heel to the left groin. And notice in the same way I did seated, how I'm using my hands to help turn the flesh. We're going to do that a few times. Ardha Padmasana against the wall. Those who can come toward Padmasana against the wall, but do a few rounds of in and out. And this is all for the hip. So this first sequence, let's just say this first chapter is wonderful for your inner thighs and your outer hips. It's also wonderful for your feet. That's it, Johnny, in, out. We're using the walls to make it a little bit easier using gravity. If you're not using the wall, you can just do it from Dandasana. Those of you who are, it's coming, Mary Beth, and take the Padmasana position is fine. Go in, out. Tom, you're doing, yeah. And if you need the pelvis support so that the heel drops into the groin, then take it. Those of you who are seated from Dandasana, you'll be in Padmasana. That's it, Lubna and Lindsay. Okay. So many of you are in Padmasana at the wall. Some of you are in Padmasana on your back. All right, this looks good. All right, now everyone stretch out your legs and let's do this. So those of you who are unable to do Padmasana, you can have your choice of doing Tolasana with Ardha Padmasana legs, or you can do Vashisthasana. All right, so let me just go over this. So let's just say you took Padmasana from Dandasana or at the wall. Then challenge yourself to do an arm balance called Tolasana. All right, so this is Padmasana legs, and I'm in Tolasana. Okay, you could use blocks, but I'm not going to. All right, now the other option is coming into Ardha Padmasana, taking a belt and putting it underneath the bottom ankle and over the thigh. So you've packaged up the legs so that when you lift up, they stay together. So let me quickly show you what that might look like. So you'll have a belt. Some of you, I'm going to show this one because many of you were doing just Ardha Padmasana at the wall. So you take your belt and maybe a 10-inch loop or so. So watch again, aiming the right heel to the left groin. That's Padmasana. And then this is Ardha Padmasana, where my left heel is underneath my right knee. I'm taking the loop. I'm placing it underneath my ankle, over my top right thigh. I'm making it tight because I want the lower leg and the upper leg to stay together. And then I take Tolasana, okay? To me, it's much harder to get up in Ardha Padmasana. I rarely do it. And you can see why, because the bottom foot's already on the floor. All right, so let's try it. Tolasana. So again, those of you who, if it bothers anyone's knees, then do Vashisthasana. Go to dog pose, and we did this last week, Vashisthasana, or you could even do half handstand, all right, as an arm balance. So just to get an arm balance in, Lubna, if you want, that's good. You can do Tolasana and then do half handstand. Mary Beth, you can go to full arm balance, just to pick up on what we did last week. Polly, you can do half handstand, just giving you choices. All right, so Tolasana is legs in Padmasana, or it's legs in Ardha Padmasana, Nancy, as you're doing it. Good time. If your knees bother you, then do half handstand. Polly, this is much better than even last week because you're closer the chest to the wall, or full arm balance. Those of you who did Tolasana, you could do, Lindsay, full arm balance. Just challenge yourself so you don't lose shoulder power. Good, Janet. So everyone is doing an arm balance, be it Tolasana, half handstand, full arm balance, or Vashisthasana. That's it, Nancy. Yeah, see, it's hard. I know in Ardha, that bottom leg doesn't want to lift. Okay. And then those of you in half handstand or full arm balance, just simply rest in Uttanasana, but make sure you've taken the other leg up. Rest in Uttanasana. Those of you who did the Padmasana and Ardha Padmasana, just stretch out your legs. Good. That's it, Mary Beth. Good. All right, rest there. Lubna, you don't have Ziad today, so it'll be a little bit harder. Okay, we'll try it. Just make sure, just imagine him there, his knees against your shoulder blades. All right, let's everyone do this. Take a chair. Most of you, as I saw the last time we did Parsva Uttanasana, you needed a block because we want the upper thigh to be at a slight angle, meaning knee slightly higher than the groin. Remember not to be too far away from the chair. That's what I remember seeing. So this is Parsva Uttanasana, an amazing pose. See how the knee is slightly higher than the groin, and I'm not listening into my standing leg. So I'm abducting at the corner of the left hip and reaching strongly. So it may seem like nothing, but it's something, right? So I'm not doing this. You see the difference between this, look at the shape, and this. See how it's not this, I'm listening into the left hip. I pin in here and I extend from here, okay? So the right leg will be on the chair. Foot likely, for many of you, you might need to raise the height as I did with a block. All right, that's good, Polly. Janet, see that the knee is over the ankle, so the ankle, yeah. So walk the foot out a little bit toward the draws. Parsva Uttanasana to the right. Pin in at the corner of the left hip, and then remember the work that you did in Baddha Konasana. Extend from the right groin to the knee. Good, Lana. So I want to see that the hip, the left hip is in line with the left heel. Polly, this is good. And then as some of you are doing, you know, put your hand and remind that knee not to turn in. Polly, this is good because sometimes as you see often on this side and on the left, the knee turns in. Turn the skin. Really good. Turn the skin. All right, and now change sides. Left foot on the block, Parsva Uttanasana. See that some of you have the foot a little bit too close in. It's not actually directly underneath the knee. So pin it at the corner of the right hip and then simultaneously extend the left groin. And then use your left hand to turn the inner knee skip. The buttocks, good, Lana, balance side to side. These look good. Peggy, good. Move, that's it. Lumina, yeah, put your hand on that left buttock flesh and move it down. Okay, good. Not everyone is far away from the chair. These look really good. All right, now stand at the top of the mat. Just set off the chair to the side. We'll just take Adho Mukha Svanasana for a moment for the knees. Probably should have done this after Tolasana. Okay, so stand at the top of the mat, feet together or apart. Raise the arms up, charge your armpit chest, and look up. Looking up because, again, it's a cold day. You want to open the armpit chest. And then bend forward at the hips. Step or jump back or jump, jump, jump back. Janet, good. Jump, jump, jump back. Yes. If jumping is challenging, and it might be because of foot issues, then wearing a sneaker would help. Okay, use this to open the backs of the knees, but also to open the armpits. So no angle between the upper chest and the upper arm. That's it, Gail. All right. Now come forward into a high plank, which we worked on, I should say high chaturanga. Look at your screen to see that your buttocks are not higher, good, Winnie, than your shoulder blade. Look at your screen sideways. Just glance over. See that your abdomen is lifting away from the floor, like warrior 3. Okay, and Peggy, good. And now come down. All right, now we worked on a different plank last week. So I'm going to teach this asymmetrical high chaturanga. If you remember last week, we stepped in and stepped out. So I'm on to a lot of these different plank positions. So watch. You're going to take it first with bent legs. You're going to, doesn't matter which leg you start, which arm you start first. It's opposite arm, opposite leg. So here I'm closest to the screen. I'm lifting my right leg. I have to use my abdomen because it's asymmetrical as I raise the left arm up. All right, so we're going to do 10. All right, start in this asymmetrical Chaturanga Dandasana. In all 4 position. Okay. And then opposite leg, opposite arm. Have the palm facing inward. Good, Mary Beth. So it's very similar to the warrior 3 action. Lubna, when you're ready, raise the leg. Yeah, so now the knee, Lubna. So that's it. That will come, Lubna, that iteration. Keep the knee on the floor. Keep the knee on the floor. It's a little bit easier. That's it, Elaine. Good, Nancy. Very good. All right. And then change sides. You're doing this, go back and forth. Right side, gaze forward, gaze forward. Those of you who know Warrior 1 have committed that, that memory of that Sanskrit term and the pose to your body memory. You'll know, Polly, that's really good. Continue on in that manner. Good. So we'll call this an asymmetrical high Chaturanga Dandasana. Beautiful. Elaine, you can also, when we're doing dog pose, this is also a good one to add to your repertoire. In addition to the modified. Keep going. I don't think anyone's finished. Reach through the fingertips. Now just watch, everyone, how the arm wants to drift below the ear. Raise the arm up in line with the ear so that you're opening up the armpits. Opening up the armpits. Good. All right, now just rest in child's pose. Good. Okay, and then when you're ready, take your high Chaturanga Dandasana as we did last week. Just come up into a high Chaturanga Dandasana. Glance at the screen to see that the pelvis is in line with the shoulders. Glance at the screen. Lift the abdomen away from the floor. Good. Hold it. See if you can hold this high Chaturanga Dandasana. Hold it. So we're building up the timings, but also the repetitions. Polly, just lift the pelvis slightly away from the floor. Okay, and then come down and rest. So we're gonna be, we'll continue to add different iterations of Chaturanga Dandasana as we go forward. Now you're gonna go back to the chair. And this time, you're going to do, instead of what we'll, Pajra Kunchanasana, Pajra means sideways. So this is to the side, right leg is to the side of the chest. Now, I have the chair up against the wall and I'm facing the wall and I'm doing a front facing Pajra Kunchanasana. It's not really Pajra because it means sideways, but we'll just need a term. And then after you do the right side, we'll take 2 iterations of this now. So first, with my left heel directly underneath my left groin, and then I'm going to step back. Now, I will say for balance, some of you might be better off holding the chair seat for balance and stepping back. So you'll end up kind of in this modified warrior 1 position. But I will say you have to be careful if you did what I just did, back up the leg. So it might be wise to do the first iteration, then hold the seat of the chair and hop back a few times. You're aiming to get the heel behind the left groin, okay? So it's still a front-facing Pajra Kunchanasana. So start with the right foot on the seat of the chair, that's it. And Polly, you can be a little closer to the chair with the ankle, good Mary Beth. Draw the femur head back, pelvis is balanced. Janet, step in where Nancy, some of you have already taken the second iteration, Lindsay. Start with the first iteration. Start with the first iteration where the left foot is directly in line with the groin, as you did a moment ago in the real Pajra Kunchanasana. Nancy, you could step in a little bit more. So now, Tom, you need to face the wall. Okay, now I think for those of you who, who feel reluctant to step back or jump back, bend down, bend forward, hold the sides of the chair and jump back a little bit, that's it. And repeat this Pajra, quote unquote, a Kunchanasana. So yeah, bring the knee Lubna in line over the ankle. So it's like a warrior 1 with the foot on the chair. Good, Peggy. Okay, these look good. Your chest is facing the wall. So bring that left hip around. Your hips, good, Gail, are facing forward. So you can see you're getting that groin stretch. Okay, now if you can, again, hold the sides of the chair, you can bend forward, take the right leg down, or you can step in and challenge yourself. Okay, change sides. Left foot. Start with the first iteration now where the right point is directly in line with the ankle, right there. So this is, those of you who know Warrior 1, and this is why knowing the Sanskrit name is helpful. I'm saying Warrior 1, it's English, but Virabhadrasana 1, it's this iteration. Okay, wait there, pin in, hips balance side to side, especially for those of you who showing me from the back of Lana. All right, now bend forward, hold the sides of the chair, step back with your right foot and open the groin, but still the chest has to face forward. Back heel needs to be down. Good, Peggy, that's really good. Yeah, these look really good. All right, now we didn't do this on the other side. Quickly take the arms out to the side and then reach up through your inner arms. Reach up through your inner arms. Okay, now again, hold the sides of the chair, step in mindfully. All right, and out you come. All right, now still at the wall, going back to the Pajra Kunchanasana, which we did this iteration, and then watch, I'm stepping back. I could also bend forward, and now I'm taking my right hand down to the seat of the chair, pressing my arm into the knee, and then if you want, you can extend the arm alongside the ear. All right, so it's kind of the Pajra iteration of what you just did. So now remember, you're not facing the wall, guys. Holly, so it's the other, going back to what puzzle to the brain, the true Pajra Kunchanasana, and then step out as I'm doing, step out and come in. So the name of this pose is Utthita Pajra Konasana with the chair, and then take the right arm to the seat of the chair and extend the left arm overhead. So look, if I just turn myself around, look, I'd be back to where I was or where you were, I should say, a moment ago. All right? Why, that's good, Elaine. See if you can broaden across the pubic plate. Janet, I think you could be a little bit wider apart if that's possible. Elaine, be careful of the inner groins in this one. All right. Now you can face forward if you so desire, or simply come out and change sides. All right, left foot on chair. Utthita Parshvanottanasana. Left foot on chair, back up, back out. Think of that your left leg is in Baddha Konasana and your right leg is in Upavishta Konasana. Mary Beth, way out. Turn the inner knee, left inner knee is turning, inner knee, step out. If you need, that's it. Go sideways. Okay. Press the arm into the knee into the arm. Don't let the inner knee roll forward. Polly, see if you can bring the left buttock forward to the entrance there. I know it's no, the other way, forward. Don't leave it behind. Okay, and now you can face forward if you so desire, or come out completely. All right, now I'm going to show you literally from behind. Watch, we're going back to that pose. So now, coming back to the same pose, only this time in taking my hand to the seat of the chair, I'm letting my trunk come forward. I'm going to reach behind and I'm going to use my hands to bring this left buttock forward toward the window. If you can't reach for your wrists or fingers, have a belt, duck under, and hold the belt, okay? Right leg to the chair. So it's the same pose, only instead of the right hand being on the chair, the right arm is going to go underneath, ducking under. And when you duck under, bring good, Polly, but you'll need the belt. And then use the hands, Lubna, to take the right buttock forward. If you can reach for your fingers, or some of you perhaps can hold the wrists even. That's it, Gail. Head back. Move the chin away from the sternum. These look good. We haven't done this in a while. Peggy, that's excellent. And out you come. Good. All right. So if you can hold the wrists. If not the wrist, hold the fingers. If not the fingers, use a belt. And if that doesn't still work, go back to the first iteration where the hand is on the chair. Okay, Utthita Parshvanottanasana. Turn the inner knee, Mary Beth, make sure I can't see in the shadow. Yeah, inner knee, back out. All right, well done. Lana, that's really good. Bring the butt, Peggy, yeah, now you're taking the buttock away from the screen. Good, Tom. Head back, Tom. Remember, don't be stingy on the belt. The chest is not facing the floor, guys. It's facing me, right? If you're struggling to find the belt so that the chest is facing the floor, then go back to having the hand on the seat of the chair. Go back to having the hand on the seat of the chair. Okay, now when you're ready, see if you can challenge yourself to do an Utthita Bekasana without the chair, or with the wall for that matter. So if you need the wall sideways, that's fine. All right, you can do it in this manner. And then challenge yourself to hold the foot with two hands and aim the heel to the outer butt. Utthita Bekasana for the frontal groins. See that the thighs are on the same plane. Hold the foot if you can with two hands. Good, good, good. That's it, Winnie. Now lift the side walls of the chest up. Polly, and it's also possible to go back. Instead of using the strap, it's actually better to do it in this way, where the kneecap, you see, is on the seat of the chair. Then struggle with the belt. Just place the kneecap on the seat of the chair. Okay, and change sides. Good, Elaine, when you're ready. Utthita Bekasana. All right. So I think of all those poses that we did with the chair as wonderful preparation for Warrior 2, Warrior 1, and Warrior 3. Change sides in Utthita Bekasana if you haven't already. Okay, now you're going to come back without chair, and we're going to do Warrior 2, Warrior 1, and then perhaps Warrior 3. So these are the poses that energize oneself, but they're also incredible to prevent muscle loss, which is known as basically sarcopenia. Take the feet, actually facing me, join the feet. Spread the toes. And lift the chest away from the floor. And then step or jump the feet wide apart. Appreciate what we did on the hips and the Vishnu Konasana. And then reach out through your arms. Okay, now the trunk is facing the screen. All you have to do is turn the right leg from the root of the thigh. The chest tilt, so you're not turning your chest. That's more like warrior one. Just simply turn the right leg. And then like we've been doing, look at your inner knee and make sure the inner knee hasn't turned in. All right, now when you're ready with movement, and this should be rather easeful, having done the Parsva Kunchanasana cycle, bring your knee over your ankle, probably go a little bit wider, and then do this a few times, aiming to get the knee over the ankle and the thigh, the top of the thigh parallel to the ceiling as the right shin moves back. All right, and then after you've done about 3 to 5 times, see if you can hold it to build thigh strength. Hold it. Come into the pose. See if you can hold it for a minute. Gail, walk out a little bit with the right foot. So look at your own inner right knee. Turn the skin. You need to put your right hand on the inner knee. The shin is perpendicular. Extend your arms. Now we're staying in the pose for a minute at least. Turn the inner knee. I want you to build the thigh. So I'll just mirror image you. Build your thigh strength. Keep your right armpit on mirror imaging you. Your right armpit over your right groin. Hold it. Hold it. We haven't been holding the poses much, but there's reason to hold, to build the thigh muscle. Hold it. And out you come. All right, come back to Samastiti. And we'll do the left side. So today we're holding it for about a minute. I didn't time it, but it's roughly a minute. But I'd like to work up to Gail. Gail has been sending you these wonderful articles about aging and the body from the New York Times. And one of the biggest things they talk about is loss of muscle mass. And in regards to yoga, the very best poses to do are the warrior poses, 1, 3, and the one that we're doing now 2, but also Utkatasana that we've done plenty of. Okay, so with that being said, we're taking this on. Join the feet. Challenge yourself to jump. Why not? I mean, there are reasons. Feet, knees, back. All right, turn the left leg out. Like we did on there, turn the right foot in a little bit. Go wide so that the left knee has a chance of being in line with the ankle. Holly, it looks like the left foot is turning in. And then again, 3 to 5 times with movement. Go down. Aim to keep the back leg straight. Very bad. Yeah, inner knee to outer knee. Go 3 times, and then I am going to time it. All right, 3 to 5 times, and then hold it. Don't hold your breath. Just hold the pose. Focus on strengthening your left thigh. If you need to put your hand on your left thigh, that's fine. Hold it, breathe, breathe. Relax the eyes. So this is a tapas. Janet, that's beautiful. This is a tapas when we're holding a pose, aiming to build thigh strength. It's a tapas, it's a discipline. Hold it. Lumna, see if you can go down a little bit. But keep the back leg straight. Keep turning the inner knee to the outer knee. Good. All right, these look good. This is a good starting place to begin with, going from the minute to longer. And now inhale, up you come. All right, now we're doing warrior one, which was like the front facing Parsva Kunchanasana. In warrior one, the chest faces in the same direction of the leg. So watch. I'm in Samastiti. I'll better do it. And then I use my arms to bring the chest around. And then I'm going to take my arms up and then keeping this back leg straight. Remember we did all this with the foot on the chair. I form the right angle. The back leg is straight. The front leg is bent and the chest is absolutely upright. Okay? All right, warrior one. And we're going to hold it for a minute. Warrior one is more challenging to hold for a minute, typically, especially when the arms are overhead. If you get tired, take the hands to the hips or extend them out. So this is a tapas again. All right, go a little bit wider, Polly. All right, turn the right leg out, left foot turns in a little bit. Use the arms, good, Mary Beth, to bring the chest so it's facing the right leg. All right, now focus on the back heel down, the back leg straight. All right, now take the arms up to get the lift of the chest. All right, now sit down. If you need to start with a few of the movement like we did in Warrior Two, good, Lindsay, but just don't bend in your lower spine. Use the arms to lift. Make your lower spine, Lindsay, taller and taller. Sometimes putting the foot on the block, the right foot on a block might help at the wall. Good, Elaine. See if you can get the arms. Good, Nancy. Beside your ears. Can you hold it for a minute, Mary Beth? Hold it. Hold it. Lift your lower spine. Make it taller. This shape is harder to stay a minute. Janet, see if you can bring the right knee over the ankle. But think of this just as a discipline, a tapas. Think of it that you're avoiding future sarcopenia. Use the arms to lift the chest so that the lower spine feels tall. And inhale, up you come. So if you get tired with the arms overhead, there's two options. Take them down by the side or hands to hips, but stay with the leg position to build strength in the, stay with the legs in their place, the front leg bent, back leg straight, so that you're building on that thigh muscle mass. Okay, start from Samastiti, we'll go to the left, but try to stay for a minute. On Friday, I'll get the timer. All right, turn the left leg out, right foot in. All right, use the arms to turn the trunk and the face the left leg. So you're getting the geometry. All right, now charge the chest by taking the arms up. Okay, now keep your back right heel down, back leg straight. Remember the over the front facing Pardha Kunchanasana. Now form a right angle with your left leg. Use your arms to lift. That's good, Lindsay. Use, yes, buttock flesh of the right leg is moving away from the waist. Good. Now stay. Don't let the back leg bend. If the back heel is lifting, remember an option is always to be at the wall. Winnie, right above your right knee, lift it, the knee into the knee so that the back leg doesn't bend. Polly, this is good. Hold it. But when I say hold the shape of the pose, I don't mean holding the breath. Breathe evenly. Remember the breath work that we did at the very beginning. If you're getting hot in your brain, which is often the case when you hold Warrior One, then take the arms down by the side or to the hips. But I'd like everyone to be able to do a minute Warrior Two, Warrior One, and Three. Well, maybe not three. This year. Okay, now out you come. All right, now we're touching Warrior One to Warrior Three. The thing about the minute timing in Warrior Three is that it's long. 30 seconds can be long. So if you need a chair, remember last time I taught Warrior Three, I had you take this chair, if you remember this, and the backrest was facing the trunk. Let me just show, because this makes it a little bit easier to stay. But not, I don't want you, I'd rather have you use this modification than hands to the floor, because with the hands to the floor, it's almost too, you don't get the tapas that you do. So watch, I'm going back to my Warrior One. And I take the chair, I don't want it too close to the wall so it'll jam into the chair. And then I bring the trunk toward the thigh. I reach for the sides of the chair, pause here, and then I push the chair away and take Warrior Three. All right, so for some of you who have not been timing your Warrior 3, I can suggest this way, using it with the chair. All right, strongly suggest. Mary Beth and others, if you don't want to use the chair, that's fine. Or you can have the chair there and then decide to use it. But again, we're doing this to hold Warrior 3 now for at least 30 seconds. Some of you maybe can do 45 seconds, if not to a minute. All right, here we go. Back to Warrior 1 on the right side. Jump or step the feet wide apart. Turn the right leg out, left foot turns in. Don't worry, we'll get a nice, well-deserved rest after this one. Use your arms to turn the trunk to face the right leg. All right, now come back to Warrior 1. Take the arms up. Form a right angle. Bring the chest toward the thigh. Keep reaching with the arms. If you have the chair, hold the side backrest of the chair and then go up. Lana, that's good. Make the body parallel. Lindsay, that's good. And remember the asymmetrical high chaturanga. So now that your arms are reaching, so they're straight in front of you, Gail. They're straight, just like at least you have something to hold on to for that minute. That's why, yeah. That's another possibility, Mary Beth, having the hands at the wall, but it just requires that distance. See if you can hold it using the chair. Those of you doing a freestanding line, if you get tired, take the arms in the same way, either out to the side or backward to hold it. So these are just ways in which you can time Warrior 3 with ease. Good, Nancy. All right, now come back to Warrior 1. Back to Warrior 1, bend the front leg. Good, Mary Beth. Reach through the back leg and then inhale up you come. All right, so chair goes to the other side. Better is that the chair is not up against something because that'll impede the movement. All right. Jump the feet wide apart. Extend the arms. Use the arms to turn the chest to face the left leg. Raise the arms up. Warrior 1 to your left. Pause there. Now, Warrior 3, bring the chest toward the thigh. Keep the arms stretched and then slide the chair forward as you straighten the left leg and come into Warrior 3. That's it. Warrior 3. That's it, Lana. Come on, this is a tapas, I know. Lindsay, you can extend through the back foot. So yeah, I mean, yours is flexed now, yeah. Janet, beautiful. Just raise the aerial right leg a smidge higher. This is really good. This is excellent. If you need to come out, if you're doing it freestanding, then instead of coming out fully, just take the arms outstretched by your shoulders or hands on hips. But we're staying, building up that thigh strength. So Tom, what I would have done is just hold the backrest of the chair. So the arms are reaching forward. We're getting really close to the Warrior 3 shape, but we're making it a little more easeful. Polly, that's it. Okay, now come back to Warrior 1. Bend the front leg, extend through the back heel. Come back to Warrior 1. Good, good, good. Okay. And out you come. All right, now we could do Utkatasana, but I think everyone would like a rest. So have your strap, and we're going to do Supta 1, 2, 4, and back to 2. Okay. So lying on your back with the feet ideally at the wall, and just take Dvipad, it'll feel good on your back. Flexing the feet. So how many of you think you could work up to a 2-minute timing in those poses? Some of you, okay, because that's what I'd like to get to. I'm going to be working on this. So those of you who are attending my workshop on April 24th, which is about feet, quadricep strength, and core strength, these are some of the things that I'm going to be working with. And also timings in Utkatasana as well. Okay, now extend through the left heel, right leg comes up. All right, so take Supta 1 when you're ready. Start at 90 and then move the leg. course, the soup to cycle is always much easier having just done the standing work. Warrior 1, 2, and 3, as I said, is wonderful for the thighs, but it really, it's so energizing. The key is to energize the body and not the brain, which is really the hard part, because oftentimes when we do the 3 warrior poses, our mind becomes very hot, the brain, forehead, skin. That's a whole other teaching. Okay, now, when you're ready, begin to move the leg closer and closer. Those who can hold the sides of the foot or the big toe, do so. And then raise the chest, raise the head, and bring your leg toward you. That's it. Keep the outer right hip moving toward the wall. Good, Mary Beth, good, Lindsay. Those of you who are lifting the chest and lifting the head, relax the eyes, the throat, and the brain. Okay, now bring the leg back to 90. Those of you who are holding the foot, go back to the strap. And now take the leg out to the side, reaching through your inner left arm. Supta 2. Now decentralize the left leg so that you are back to where we were at the very beginning in a wide Upavishta Konasana. So now we're doing Supta 2, leg out to the side with the left heel decentralized. Holly, bend the right leg a little bit so that the thigh doesn't go lower than the hip. Yeah, that's too low. Now bend it. Janet, that's really good. That's also improved that Supta 2. All right, now from here, let's do Supta 4, any iteration, final pose, full pose, hooking underneath of figure 4. Supta 4, that's it, Lana. You need the belt, it's there, good, Mary Beth, yeah. See if you can hold a big toe. And then recline back. Peggy, see if you can take the right thigh, the left thigh closer to the floor. Good. Supta 4 in its full iteration, or hooking underneath the lower leg, or figure 4. Okay, now from Supta 4, go back to Supta 2, out to the side. The leg is out to the side. Polly, yeah, I would bend that right leg. Because otherwise it strains the back if the leg is lower than 90 degrees. Or you could rest the knee on a bolster. Okay, now take the leg back up. Take Dvipada. Knees into chest, rest there. Hold the shins or the backs of the thighs. If your arms aren't long enough to hold the shins, flex the feet. And now Ekapada, with the left knee into the chest, right leg extended. Wait there. Take the leg up to 90 with the strap, and then move the leg. Those who can hold a big toe on this side, please do, or the sides of the feet. But again, go slowly, not raising the chest and head yet. If it bothers you to lift your chest and your head on your neck, then support your head and shoulders, the backs of the shoulders, the upper trap with a bolster. Peggy, make sure that you're protecting your neck. Okay. Supta 1, full pose, or moving toward the full pose in your own time. Good, Elaine. See it, make it a fluid motion, not a jerky motion, so that the left leg is coming forward, not moving back and forth. Just bring it toward you. Then when you get that movement, raise the chest, raise the head, climb up the foot and bring the leg toward you. It comes to you. And then lie back, lie back. Take the leg with you as you lie back, Luna. Take the leg with you. Take the leg with you. That's why in the final pose, holding the sides of the foot, Lindsay, that's it. Then hold, when you're able to hold the sides of the foot, then taking the leg with you is much easier. Okay, now bring the leg back to 90. Take the belt. Now extend through your inner right arm and now do Supta 2. Decentralize the right leg to get the width across the pubic plate. Tom, let the other leg, the right leg, just wander out toward the window so you're getting the width. And then look at your, so Polly and Winnie, look at your left leg to make sure it's not lower than 90 degrees to your chest. Otherwise, bend it. Or you can bend it and put the knee on a bolster so you can stay with it bent. Okay. That's Supta 4, Supta 2. Now come into Supta 4, any iteration. So when I say any iteration, remember that it might be different on this side. If your left hip is tighter than your right, then maybe you have to go to a more easeful iteration than on the right side, be it figure 4 or hooking underneath. Otherwise, full pose, holding the big toe or holding the strap, taking the left arm behind your head. Supta 4 for your outer left hip. Keep the right thigh pressing down. Use this Supta 4 as we come back to Supta 2 to improve Supta 2. And then when you're ready, Supta 2, repeat it after 4, out to the side. So we won't get to Vamadevasana, and that's fine, but I just want to do one more thing when you're ready. So take the knees into the chest, Dvipala. So we're going to do a low lunge in the same way we did that front-facing Pajra Konchasana. Let me show this. So you can have 2 blocks, and you can start kneeling, and then you're going to take the right foot in line over the right knee, and then I'm walking, you see I'm sliding the knee back, all right? I'm aiming to balance my sacrum side to side. So it's very similar to what you did, that front-facing Konchasana on when the foot was on the seat of the chair, only now we're on the floor. And then if you want to, so there's a tendency to bring the trunk too far forward. So I'm using the blocks. Notice how my blocks are not in line with the foot, but rather in line with the hips. In the same way, we wanted to keep the chest perpendicular to the floor in Virabhadrasana 1. So this is a lunge position. Start with the right leg, get the front leg established, then back up the back knee. And then make sure your hips, so if you're showing me from behind, the hips should be balanced. Remember what we did, that front facing, I'll call it front facing of Konchasana. Back up the back leg. Janet, good. Back it up. So the back leg over time is straight. You're on the top of the left foot. And then Lumina, take the blocks closer to the hips so the chest is not resting on the thigh. The back leg is down on the floor. The back knee, Peggy, is down on the floor. Yeah, now aim the left groin toward the floor. The back left knee is on the floor, good Tom. And sense that the left groin, remember Bekasana, sense that the left groin comes to the floor. These look really good. Winnie, that's really good. So we're kind of back to where we were in all those Utthita Bekasanas and Supta Virasana. Wonderful. Okay, now slowly inch in with the back knee and repeat other side. So now, Nancy, the left foot, we're doing a low lunge. I'll show from the side. Look, so the left foot is in front. I'm aiming to get the back leg straight, and the blocks are closer to the hips, not to the foot. So let me show you from the front. The intentionality is that I'm aiming to get this right groin. Imagine I was down on the floor doing prone Bekasana. Imagine you could just roll over to your, not roll over, just drop down into prone Bekasana. That's what it would be like, a prone Bekasana coming from this low lunge. Balance your sacrum. We will do something asymmetrical before Shavasana. That's good, Luna. You're on the top of the foot. Good, Peggy. Chest perpendicular. Now have courage to take the arms overhead without charging the brain. Good. Yeah, Nancy, you don't even have to hold the foot. So it's like, it's like that pose, but not. You're just keeping the back, have the foot on the floor in Virasana. Yeah, back, so the foot is on the floor, and keep the back, bring the knee further behind the hip. More like, yeah, like this. So the knee of the back leg is not underneath the hip. If you need the chair to balance, use it. So the groin is coming closer to the floor. That's it, Holly. Okay, now just for symmetry, take Adho Mukha Svanasana from an all-four position. If your brain is hot, do supported Adho Mukha Svanasana. I taught that 2 weeks ago. Remember that, where we had a bolster underneath our forehead or underneath the crown of the head. That might be helpful, but keep the armpits long. Take enough height so your arms don't bend. Supported Adho Mukha Svanasana if you can. Good. All right, now with ease, draw the feet together, lift the root of the right leg up, pelvis balance, descend it, lift the root of the left thigh up, good, descend it, and child's pose. Now take your bolster, those of you who have a bolster, use 2 blankets. Those of you who have 2 bolsters, you can place one bolster between your chest and your legs and one on top of your back, meaning you have 2 bolsters. So you're doing an anterior facing, and you can use another bolster on your back. Child's pose. That's right. That's good, Elaine. Holly, I think for you, it might be better because of the buttocks to the heels. Just put the bolster out in front of you and rest your arms on the bolster and the blanket where I usually teach it. Yeah. Or you can sit on a chair and reach forward to the wall. Now you get the same shape. Put your buttocks on the, that's good, Tom. Put your buttocks on the seat chair and reach to the wall. I think you need a little more height underneath your arms, Polly, so that the buttocks sink down on your heels. That's good. Okay, everyone, and now we're going to rest in child Shavasana. And you can do any Shavasana of your choice, prone, supine, bolster underneath knees, lower legs on the seat of the chair, whatever is relaxing for you. Janet, that's good. And if you don't want to turn your head side to side, and remember the timing's right to the left, then just press your forehead into the bolster and then you don't have to remember. Okay, so I think we'll have just a silent Shavasana for a change. Just get into a position as we do when we're sitting, making sure that you're comfortable, making sure that you're warm. Putting enough blankets underneath, over you and underneath your head so that you're warm. Otherwise, it's impossible to relax. That's good there, but yeah, bring a lot of clothes, sweatshirts and socks and blankets. See that you're warm. Your chest should be warm. Just sense you're going into your own home, your own refuge, your own cave. If you find in the first minute or two that posture that you've chosen for Shavasana is just not restful enough, then by all means change your posture. Use the out breath to let go, to be at ease, to relax. Again, balancing relaxation with energy, enough energy so that you don't fall asleep. Balancing relaxation with energy and energy with relaxation. Since the two meet in the middle. Allow yourself to feel that quality of balance, side to side. Relaxation, energy, energy, relaxation. For those of you who want to, you can transition yourself to an upright position and spend the last minute or two in an upright seated state. Otherwise, go back to child's pose or simply remain supine or prone. Just rest in a seated posture or staying in your shavasana. Restoring, renewing, refreshing body and your mind. So in a moment, I'll stop the recording and you can unmute yourselves. If you want to give me any feedback about the timings in the warrior